I put this in scientific notation. 10 to the 16th dollars is $10 quadrillion in damages compared to the $20 billion. Oh, well, this is going to help the people, and it's like,
that's baloney.
Bucket. Now,
the
thing is, I have heard concerns about this petroleum-eating bacteria, that it could mutate, and given the volume, but what choice do we have? I mean, yes, some species may get annihilated, but they're going to get annihilated anyway if we don't do anything. But on the other hand, if we spread this bacteria, and I believe that with state sovereignty, that each state should say, here's your bacteria, grow it, take some of this water, make a culture where you create more of it, spread it far and wide. Because the thing is, with this bacteria, it would absolutely rejuvenate. We've overfished the oceans. So the thing is that with this bacteria, this microbe that has been discovered that eats eats petroleum, once it consumes the petroleum, then it becomes food for the shrimp and all like that. In other words, this curse could be turned into a blessing. There's only one caveat that I've heard, is that it could mutate into something that would actually eat regular food. And it's given the number of microbes, and microbes mutate easily, and especially with the radioactive isotopes that are being released, enhances that danger. So I can see that
that is going public. They are not publicly releasing the information, the evidence about this uranium and the thorium and what it's doing there in the ocean and in the air.
Yes. Well, yeah, and there's things that, like I say, I'd like to see some real solutions, because I know that when politicians talk, I mean, Newt Gingrich, I used to be a Newt Gingrich constituent, and he talks about American solutions. Now, if you imagine that the constitutional republic is a strip of magnesium, and the New World Order is a beaker of sulfuric acid. You take the strip of magnesium, whatever, and you put it in the beaker. See, you have a solution. We got rid of this pesky Constitution. And so the thing is that I propose is that there are real solutions that politicians are actively avoiding. Or
they don't know how. It's like they don't know.
I mean, to me, it's very simple. Instead of having amnesty for the illegal aliens, I propose blanket parole, meaning you've broken our laws. We're going to put you on parole. You're going to get an identity. In 30 days, if you don't get an identity card, or, each state works it out. I mean, I don't want to centralize it with saying the federal government's got to do this.
I like the idea of parole.
I tell you what, maybe we'll check on that some other time, because we're on the topic of the Gulf spill.
When I run into people who are not here legally, right, I always ask them the question, and I say, listen, if you're going to come to America, will you love America? We need more people who love this country, instead of Americans who are spectators rather than engaged in the process, right. Mark.
Yeah, one caveat that I have about the word love, people say love it, America, love it or leave it, and I'm saying, look, I love God, the creator of the universe. Because I love God, I love humanity. Because I love humanity, I love my country in a proper moral context. And false patriotism does not understand the proper moral context. That you cannot say because of one lie, called the Gulf of Tonkin incident, 58,000 Americans died, and that's this huge tragedy. And it is.
Yes.
But the fact that 2 to 3 million Vietnamese, north, south, God doesn't care. And because God doesn't care whether they're north or south, I don't care. The fact is, these people's lives were forfeited because of a lie. And we cannot rightly say, the moral context is simply this. We cannot say that an American life is worth more than anyone else's. We can't say, well, 100 Muslim lives is worth one American life.
Well, today we get to see the same thing occur when we have McChrystal, who does have standing, come face-to-face with Obama that does not have standing. And who will win this face-off in the White House today? The general, McChrystal, who has a right to stand as general, or a president who does not have the right to stand as president?
You mean the illegal alien who pretends to be... Well, the joke, remember those old advertisements where I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. That's the way I look at Obama. He's not president. He just plays one on TV. And with the Restore America plan, it is my understanding that he's just playing his role because there are changes in the works, and I hope and pray. I'm hearing recently that we're going to have something to really celebrate this 4th of July. But the thing is, we know that the dark forces would rather, I don't want to give them any ideas.
We have heard this promise that if they are going down, that the earth is going down. Okay.
Right. Well, they could set off a nuclear device in the Yellowstone caldera, and the entire United States would be buried under pumas. And I'm not suggesting they do that. I'm saying, in their sick, twisted minds, they probably already have the provision in place that they could set off the Yellowstone caldera, and they could admit it, because once they set that thing off and the chain reaction happens, that the Yellowstone caldera blows its lid, what's anybody going to be able to do to stop it? And the answer is nothing. Our literal would make this thing in the
our literal existence is now at risk. We are absolutely at risk, and the Earth. I don't know if the Earth will survive these events. And you know what? We are now the caretakers. We are now the caretakers of the Earth. Okay. Yes. For how many generations has this Earth and its blessings been passed on to one generation and to another generation and to another generation? And now the responsibility does rest upon our shoulders. Mark, I appreciate the call. Because of time, I'm going to race to another caller. Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling in. And Brian, we're going to take another call from Australia.
Yeah, right.
Kevin in Australia, good morning. You're on.
Yeah, hi there, RJ.
Hey, good morning.
An interesting program, RJ.
Thank you.
Yeah. Listen, the reason why the American ships are there in the Middle East is for one reason, because they want to raise the flag, the Jolly Roger. They're there to act as pirates, and that's exactly why they're there. They want to pull over Iranian ships. They want to prod and poke and push and they want to be a pest. They want to cause Iran to react in some way that would then give them a trigger to bring out the B-52 bombers and whatever.
I think I see that. In fact, the military now for the United States, I think we act like mercenaries for these Illuminati people. We act as mercenaries now, I think, for the Queen. It's like the Queen or the Vatican, wherever, whoever is the top of this food chain, gives the instructions, and so then Obama sends our troops. So now we are acting like mercenaries, trying to poke and poke and poke the bully until a war comes. And I see it, Kevin. And Brian, what do you see there?
Yeah, I agree 100%. What Kevin said about the being pirates, when these ships return to England, for example, if they've been at sea, they always fly the Skull and Bones, the Jolly Roger. So this has been a piracy type of idea that's been the law of England way back in time when they were still in the Golightly the Spanish Armadas. So this is what it goes into. It's all to do with the satanic rituals again. But indeed, the Queen is not quite top of the food chain. She's just a figurehead, because it's a constitutional monarchy. But it does go back to Rome. That's where the Black Pope's all about. And, of course, Freemasonry and the Illuminati, and they're all involved.
Anything else, Kevin?
Okay, Jay, I won't disagree with that part of the statement there.
We have about, Kevin, we have about a minute left, and after the break I'm going to try to take another caller. So with about a minute, what other question do you have, or what other point did you want to make?
With regards to the beast that was given a deadly wound and the beast that recovered, I don't calculate that to be anything other than the papacy, because the papacy was overthrown in 1798 by Napoleon Bonaparte, or his general Berthier, that actually grabbed the Pope and threw him in the Bastille, and that's where he stayed, basically. And that was a deadly wound that was given to the papacy. Now, the wound was healed later on, further down the line, by Benito Mussolini, when, before the Second World War, he restored the papacy and basically
set them up in the Vatican, and so therefore the deadly wound was healed. Now,